Picture this. You're flying over the vast, open ocean. The sky's perfectly clear, your engines are humming along beautifully. And then, out of nowhere, your compass just starts spinning wildly. Your radio goes completely dead. Disorienting, thick clouds seem to just swallow your aircraft whole, and in seconds, you literally vanish without a single trace. Now, it sounds like a scene straight out of a Hollywood movie, right? But for dozens of actual crews, this wasn't fiction. It was a terrifying reality. 70. That's the combined total of more than 50 ships and 20 aircraft that have simply vanished. And we're not talking about crashes where they eventually found the pieces. We're talking about them being completely swallowed up by one of the most infamous patches of water on the planet. No frantic distress calls, no floating wreckage, just gone. Welcome back to today's Explainer. We are diving headfirst into uncovering the terrifying truth behind history's greatest unsolved puzzle, the Bermuda Triangle. For decades, this infamous stretch of water has fueled some wild theories and intense debates. So was it some crazy military experiment? A massive underwater anomaly? Well, today, we're crunching the data to finally separate the reality from the legend. Let's get right into it. To really grasp this mystery, we've got to first look at the sheer scale of the geography. We're drawing lines between Miami, Florida, down to Puerto Rico, and up to the island of Bermuda. Connecting those dots gives us 500,000 square miles of open Atlantic Ocean. 500,000. We are definitely not talking about a small lake here. When you realize the absolute colossal scale of this water, a sudden disappearance takes on a highly challenging logistical context for any search and rescue team. And you know, this legend, it wasn't just born overnight. It was built on a literal century of doom. Back in 1918, the massive USS Cyclops was lost. Then came 1945 with the chilling case of Flight 19. And in the years following that, huge commercial vessels like the Marine Sulphur Queen, and even just small private yachts, were seemingly swallowed whole. Every single event just added this whole new layer of dread to the area. But the real anchor of this legend, the one that started it all, happened on December 5th, 1945. 5 U.S. Navy bombers known as Flight 19 took off for what was supposed to be a totally routine training mission. Suddenly, the squadron leader radios in this chilling message. Our compasses are not working, we don't know where we are. And then, they vanished. The craziest part, the rescue plane they sent out to find them, it disappeared too. Just like that, 27 men were gone. But wait. It actually gets worse. Before Flight 19 even happened, there was an even larger tragedy. 300. That is the staggering human toll of the 1918 USS Cyclops disappearance. This was a massive, heavy-duty Navy cargo ship that left Barbados and just never arrived. How does a massive naval ship vanish without a single distress call? Not one piece of wreckage, 0 survivors. Honestly, to this day, it remains an absolute ghost story. So, that brings us to the strange theories. What exactly is hiding beneath these waves? Well, theory number 1 is, of course, alien activity. It's an absolute staple of pop culture. The belief here is that extraterrestrials are using the area as this hidden deep-sea base to abduct ships and aircraft without any warning whatsoever. But look, just to be completely clear on this one, there is 0 scientific evidence backing this up. It makes for an awesome movie script for sure, but it is terrible science. Now, theory 2 is a fun one. It links the triangle to the legendary lost city of Atlantis. Some folks hypothesize that ancient advanced technology, specifically these giant energy crystals buried beneath the ocean floor by a lost civilization, are basically jamming our modern navigation systems. Sounds super fascinating, right? Yet oceanographers have never found a single shred of proof that Atlantis or, magical navigation jamming crystals ever actually existed. Okay, theory 3 brings us much closer to actual science: magnetic anomalies. It is a fact that compasses can behave incredibly strangely in this area due to localized variations in the Earth's magnetic field. You combine a spinning compass with a bit of human panic, and you can easily disorient inexperienced pilots. However, and this is a big however, these magnetic variations aren't actually unique to the Bermuda Triangle. They literally happen all over the globe. Then we have theory 4, which introduces a genuinely plausible natural phenomenon:
methane gas. Imagine massive bubbles of methane trapped right beneath the ocean floor, suddenly erupting. When that gas hits the water, it instantly drops the water's density, which could theoretically cause any ship floating directly above to lose its buoyancy and drop like a literal stone. If that gas plume reaches the air, it could even choke out an aircraft engine. Plausible? Yes, absolutely. But the evidence directly linking this to our famous cases is incredibly limited.
Which leads us to what science actually says. It is time to separate the facts from the fiction. When we look at this area through the lens of meteorology, a terrifying but very, very real picture starts to emerge. First off, the Bermuda Triangle is a notorious hotspot for incredibly powerful storms and hurricanes. It also regularly spawns massive rogue waves. We're talking literal walls of water that can snap a huge ship right in half. Add in strong ocean currents like the Gulf Stream that can easily sweep wreckage miles away before anyone even starts looking. Oh, and on top of all that natural chaos, it happens to be one of the most densely trafficked shipping and flight routes on the entire planet. So it really all comes down to myth versus reality. The myth claims that these are cursed waters actively targeting vessels. But the reality? Statistically speaking, the accident rates here are completely normal. Look, when tens of thousands of vessels pass through a highly storm-prone route every single year, tragic accidents are bound to happen. Modern investigations show that the vast majority of these disappearances were just caused by sudden bad weather, mechanical failure, or simple human error. Officially, this area is no more dangerous than any other busy ocean. And that actually brings us to a super fascinating psychological reality. Has fear just turned ordinary tragic accidents into one of the world's greatest legends? I mean, think about it. Perhaps the biggest mystery here isn't the ocean at all. It's human curiosity. We have this deep-seated need to find extraordinary, mind-blowing explanations for senseless losses. We kind of want the world to feel magical, even if that magic is completely terrifying. But hey, maybe, just maybe, some dark secrets really are still waiting down there beneath the waves. So what do you think? Do you believe the Bermuda Triangle is actively hiding something unknown, or is it simply the brutal forces of nature at work? Head down to the comments right now and tell me your conclusion. And if you enjoyed this explainer, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're going to keep breaking down history's darkest secrets together, keep questioning everything, and I will see you in the next one.